It's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous. It's good but ridiculous.
Paid to do this?
Yeah, we get paid. Oh, I'm sorry, James. I've been paying myself extra.
I'm saying paid money to go visit. Shut up.
Ben pays me in Trident layers.
Oh, shit.
Nobody ever pays me in gum.
I'm visiting Ben out of my goodness of my own heart. It counts as volunteer hours.
Of course, as soon as I hit the stream, everything for me is off.
I was like, this is an interesting crop.
It's artistic.
Yeah, that's what it is.
There we go. Just like that. That's perfect. Perfect.
1 second.
A crop where Ben is on top of
Yeah,
everything?
1 second.
What? I am on top of everything. I'm on top of the world. Aren't I?
Hey,
Wait, where did Brant go? He knows we're actually live, right?
No, I don't think it does.
Well, while we wait for Brant, I'm just gonna do the Star Wars theme with my mouth. Da 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 da
Brant.
da 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 da.
Looks like we're home.
Okay, Brant's back, so I can actually start this thing for real, right, Brant? You're okay with that?
Yeah.
All right. It's another ridiculous night as my roundtable joins me, Ben, the ridiculous Riddick, and rants concerning the nerd culture of yesterday and today. Joining me at my roundtable, as always, Brant, ramblin' with Range.
That is who I am.
That is who you are.
I continue to ramble.
Good.
That's what I do.
You better ramble. And you
That's
ramble.
right.
He's
you
a
ramble
ramblin'
that
man?
Range.
I'm a rambling man.
A ramblin' Range. Ranging about all day. If for those
Yeah, that's what I do.
For those that have been with Brant and I for a long time, we've talked about ranging about and being a Riddick, so we'll skip it this time. Over in Capelli's corner at this round table, he somehow finds the corner every time. James Capelli himself.
This is my corner.
You
There are
ever
many
hit
like
your
it.
head
This
on a
corner
corner
is
or
mine.
something, James?
Without my corner, I am nothing. Without me, my corner is nothing.
Very good, James.
so everyone puts James in the corner?
Yeah.
Is that
Fucking
how this
stop
works?
that nonsense.
Exactly.
You stay away from my corner, Sam. You put nothing in the corner, even me.
And of course, our favorite Asian, DJ Fluffkins himself.
Yes.
Sam Chen.
So the only Asian friend that Ben has.
Making it our favorite.
Besides the
Like-
pandas in the zoo.
Yeah, that's true. I am very close friends with the pandas in the zoo. That's my favorite thing ever. Not gonna lie.
They're black, white, and Chinese.
It's amazing.
No racism there.
Exactly. So today we are sitting down to talk about Star Wars because tomorrow is a hallowed day in Star Wars lore. It's May the 4th, which is how Mike Tyson says, "May the Force be with you."
Low
Right.
blow.
Right?
Low blow.
Oh, okay.
You know, he's used to those low blows. Anyways, we're also going to be talking a lot about Star Wars Episode 7. We're going to be talking about Battlefront EA. And we'll also talk about our favorite Star Wars moments. As a matter of fact, I'm going to put everyone on the spot right now. I want you to name what you believe is the best Star Wars moment in the entire series. James, go. Best Star Wars moment.
Final show off between Luke, the Emperor, and Vader.
All right. It's a classy one. I do have to agree. Brant. How about you?
Oh, it's easy. I know.
You know what? I have to agree. That is a beautiful moment. Very
So
touching.
good.
Sam.
The first introduction of Jar Jar Binks.
The first
Get the
introduction of
fuck out of
Jar
this.
Jar Binks. And
That
guys,
was kind of redundant,
congratulations.
by the way. You can't introduce things twice, really, so it's just the introduction.
Thank you,
Yes.
Brent. Thank you, Brent. You and James can be the etymology experts on the show from
Yep.
now on. I really appreciate that someone's finally.
So while we do it, and any grammatical stuff when you need me.
Since we started this cast a year and a half ago, there's been no confusion as to what marathon is. All right?
Exactly.
Not
Everyone
a
in the
single
world
damn time.
knows what marathon is. Absolutely.
City?
What?
Question. A city?
Yes.
Okay.
In the Keys. Florida Keys, actually. It's quite fun.
Is it close to Kokomo? I think
No.
it's Kokomo.
That's where I want to go, though.
Good. Okay.
Way down in Kokomo?
Yeah. So, I would have to say my favorite Star Wars moment is going to have to be when the first movie, New Hope, they're blowing up the Death Star. Spoilers, by the way. Spoilers for that movie. It only came out in 1977, but spoilers. Luke is in that final run. He's about to reach the Womp Rat that he's gonna shoot, and he's got Vader and 2 other TIE fighters closing in on him. They're about to fire, and then out of nowhere, the TIE fighters blow up. Cut to Harrison Ford going, "Woo!" That's my favorite moment.
Ben's excited.
I am quite excited, very excited, and we're gonna turn to the chat. Say hello, chat. Hello, listeners, if you will.
Hello, listeners, if you will.
Hey, humans.
We're sorry.
Recruit says the best moment was when Luke was cloned and they just named him Luke Skywalker. Underscore. We forgot
See,
the
I don't-
underscore.
I don't recall that in the movies.
No? James, you must not be a true Star Wars fan then.
I
I'm actually
guess.
kind of ashamed that you're on the show. Maybe I need to kick you out.
What would you do if James and I just dropped? We're like, you're right.
Why would you have dropped? I didn't kick you out of here.
I don't know, but without James, I feel like this show's hollow. It's one corner falls down, the rest of it, you can't have a square, it's a whole big thing.
Yeah. Okay, so favorite moment. Absolutely. How about your least favorite moment?
The first introduction of Jar Jar Binks.
And it comes full circle. The first introduction of Jar Jar Binks. I have to say, I might have to agree with you on that. The introduction of Jar Jar Binks. Misa thinks Binks is bad.
Yeah.
Sam?
I don't. Oh, okay, Sam.
I don't want to talk to you, James.
No, I definitely think it's basically every scene with Anakin in the first movie.
Oh,
Every-
you don't like that Jake Lloyd action going on?
No. Oh my god. It was so ridiculously horrible.
Hey.
Worse than Jar Jar Binks, mind you. Worse than Jar Jar Binks.
Fun, stupid fact, by the way. Jake Lloyd, he signed a photo for Leah and I's wedding. Yeah.
I'm
Because
sorry.
Jake Lloyd and I were besties.
I thought it was you
that-
and Muskie.
Not really.
Everything. Your fault.
Yep, I made the movies. Absolutely. James, least favorite Star Wars moment?
I can't pinpoint the precise moment, but it was the first when it was when I realized that Episode 1 is bad. Like when I was watching it for the first time, I was like, "Wait, this whole movie is just gonna suck, isn't it?"
When was that moment for you, James? I want to know when in your mind were you sitting down watching that movie and were just thinking as a kid, fuck. What moment? The first introduction of Jar Jar Binks.
No, I think it was when they left Tatooine and they got to like the Republic, the Senate, and I was just like, what the hell is going on?
Wait, you mean
So
you
I-
didn't enjoy watching politics at work?
Right?
Galactic politics, James. Not even
Galactic
regular
politics.
politics. Galactic politics.
It's like,
See, I was 8
I've
years
gone
old.
30
and heavy into
minutes without
C-SPAN at
seeing
that
a
point, so
lightsaber.
I ate it up. Loved it.
And the last time I saw a
Man, what?
lightsaber was like for
And
15 seconds, and it was not cool. I mean, at least Darth Maul was in it.
I don't remember, like, back in that first movie, at least at that age, ever thinking, this is bad. I was like, man, it's another Star Wars movie, yes! That was about it. Later on, I was like, wow, this sucks.
I actually have to agree with you, Sam, because it's like watching that movie in theaters. All I can think of is, oh yeah, Star Wars, space battles, pod racing. You know,
Well, I mean, like, so I just had this conversation last night where a bunch of people were talking about how, like, oh, back in the day when we had to line up to get, like, concert tickets, right? And I was like, I had never lined up to get a concert ticket in my life. But I did line up to get Star Wars tickets for episode 1. And I just remember, like, how depressed I was when my parents were like, no, you can't do that. Like, you're too young to, like, sit outside and wait for movie tickets. And they got me tickets, and I got to see it on opening day, so I was very excited. But other than that, so yeah, I think back then I didn't care. I didn't know what a good movie was. I went to see Dumb and Dumber. Come on.
I will actually say I've never seen Dumb and Dumber, but that's not what we're talking about. We're talking
No
about
reason.
Star Wars.
No reason.
No, but I mean, at that age, and I think
I know, Brand.
that's
I know.
who it's supposed to appeal to. At that age, when you watch that movie and you're like, yes! And there's a Jedi in it, and he's kind of, sort of, close-ish to my age, woohoo. Seeing that movie was just a fun movie to watch as a kid. Watching it when it came out, again, was like, whoa. What the hell is this steamy pile of shit that somebody smeared all over my television?
That was actually the pile of shit that you smeared over your television.
Oh, right.
To stop yourself from watching.
Exactly.
Watching Star Wars.
No, I mean... But, episode 1 aside, I feel like the prequel trilogy gets a really bad rep, but it's... I didn't hate Attack of the Clones and
Yeah.
Revenge of the Sith.
Like a lot of plot and characters was like, I was like, this doesn't really make much sense. But at the very least, the animation was good and the action was interesting. Mm-hmm. You know?
My major complaint about the second and third movie was Hayden Christensen. I freaking hated him. I think just about anybody would have been better for that role than Hayden Christensen.
What about Jake Lloyd?
Yes. No.
But
No,
it-
I mean,
go ahead,
I
Sam.
think I'd be really curious to see, because we'll probably get to the point at some point in the future where there will be children who have not seen any Star Wars and will be able to watch it from like 1 to 9, basically,
So,
right?
There
I'd be
is
really
a
curious to see
person
what they
in our
say.
chat right now, Bumman XIV. He is watching this show. He has never seen a Star Wars movie.
Yeah, but he's not a child, so he doesn't count.
Yeah, okay. He's a grown ass
Or
man,
maybe
and he's
he
never
is.
seen it. I would like to throw out there the ginger_beard. I wonder who that is in the chat. He says his
Why
least
is he not on
favorite
the
moment
show?
because he didn't feel like he could contribute to a Star Wars show. That
Every time.
that little jerk. No, he said his least favorite part of the Star Wars movies, every time teen Anakin whined. And I have to say,
So every scene.
I was going to say, that's a
Yeah.
great 100 minutes
That
of
is
your life.
every scene.
absolutely. And those faces that Hayden Christensen makes every time he does anything, it's like... For those actually, listening to the show on iTunes, I apologize that you were unable to see the faces that I just made. But it was...
Yeah, you can see them in your
I
heart.
envy you who are listening on iTunes, for you did not have to see the faces that Ben makes.
But it doesn't make any sense that they would make him so whiny. He's Darth fucking Vader.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, I
what-
mean, that's part of the point, right? Like,
I think that was supposed to be George Lucas's intention, is that he was this person who legitimately cared about things. It was poorly written to be shown, but like that, I think that's what he wanted to get at, is Darth Vader was this ultimate fall from what somebody was to what they became.
Yeah,
I don't think it was that much of a fall. I mean, it just went from whiny bitch to evil asshole.
I think that's what Lucas wanted to do, but Lucas has bad ideas more often than good.
We should just spend an hour talking about what's wrong with the prequels and what's great with the original series. I think that makes for a good May the 4th.
Oh yeah.
But there are great things about the prequels also. I mean, I really enjoyed seeing more Obi-Wan. Like, more backstory on Obi-Wan Kenobi. And I enjoyed Ewan McGregor as Obi-Wan Kenobi. They could have definitely chosen worse. They could have chosen Hayden Christensen to play Obi-Wan Kenobi.
All the roles.
All of the roles. Just everything.
Hey, there was enough CGI in that fucking movie that they could have done it.
This is true.
Fair. Which is why I'm excited for the new one, because the CGI is not like
practical
over the top.
effects. Holy fucking Toledo!
What? I have no idea what you speak of. Practical. That just seems silly.
No, it actually seems practical, which is the opposite of silly.
I want to take a moment and talk about pod racing, though.
Oh, do we have to?
I really...
Is that like podcasting while you run?
Yes. That is exactly what that is. We should have a show where it's called pod racing, but it's just us recording a podcast while running.
Nice.
I'm fairly certain that I could win that against you guys.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
We'd run in laps, right? So I'd just stay at the start. Win.
That's ingenuity. That's what I look for in a candidate. Sam, you're hired.
Yes.
But yeah, so the ginger_beard on the chat says it was pointless. But pod racing, the game was absolutely fun, and I feel
the
like
game or the video or the console game.
The N64 game.
Okay.
You played that, right? I think I actually played it on PS1, but
yeah.
But still, it was a fun, entertaining game. Not as good as the best game, which was Rogue Squadron, but
original X-wing.
I guess
actually original TIE Fighter.
Original TIE Fighter.
Super Return of the Jedi.
Super Return of the Jedi.
I have that game.
Oh, I did have that.
Hard as balls.
I don't think I ever played that one. I also never had a Super Nintendo.
It's like impossibly difficult.
Gotcha. Well, as games were back in the day.
Right.
But I honestly believe that pod racing was inserted into episode 1 for one reason and one reason only, and that was to make another kind of video game.
I was going to say for toys, but yeah, I agree.
I mean, toys as well. I don't think I ever saw anyone with a pod racer toy, though. But
probably some McDonald's one at some point, right?
Really?
No?
No?
Oh, no, they weren't with McDonald's. They were with the KFC Pepsi trifecta.
That was a thing?
What?
That you got Star Wars toys at KFC?
It wasn't Star Wars toys, but like you could only get the limited edition cups at the Yum brand stores. So,
look, if you could have made, if George Lucas could have made money selling something, you bet your ass he tried.
Yeah. Yeah. And do you think that was like one of the main issues with the prequel trilogy? Is like they introduced all this stuff just to sell more toys and merchandise?
That and the end of Episode 6. Ewoks were made to sell toys.
Mm-hmm. That's true. Did we hate Ewoks as much as we hate Jar Jar Binks, though?
No, because Ewoks still proved to be badass and take out AT-ATs and stormtroopers and stuff.
I don't think there was a single AT-AT in
whatever.
The Moon of Endor. I'm just saying.
They were plush. Being plush is cool.
You know what my favorite thing about the Ewoks is? I work in a veterinary hospital, and I swear, like, half of the Yorkies and, like, those kinds of breeds come in, and they have names like Wicket, which was one of the Ewoks in Return of the Jedi, and that is something I love. And then the fact that there are dogs out there that look like Ewoks, I mean, come on. Do you think George Lucas was sitting around thinking, "Oh man, I want to talk to some of these breeders and see if I can get some money off of them if I promote their dog breed, the Ewok"?
I don't know what he was thinking. I don't even try to imagine.
There's a
We
really
know you don't
great
try to think,
conversation going on in the chat right now about different kinds of Star Wars racing games. So, the Ginger_Beard is asking, do you think they'll bring pod racing back in the new movies? You know, for more video games?
Video games. I just imagine how he's saying that too.
And then Lee for Vendetta asks, what about an AT-AT racing game? Which, that sounds incredibly exciting. You know, just the really slow...
Kunk.
Exactly.
That actually could be a cool racing game. Like if you put in try to sabotage the other
Robot trash can
AT-AT
racing. Wop, 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 wop. No? No robot trash can?
No.
What about Jabba racing?
Yeah.
That'd be
Like
fun,
through
like
his
little
intestines?
slug racing.
No, that's gross. That's just
No.
gross.
What's
let's
what's
talk
gross
about
about
things
that,
that
Brant?
make you sad.
Please
I don't know.
paint a picture for me.
That movement you just made, that was gross.
And then my favorite, Ewok racing. I mean,
So you would ride the Ewok.
exactly.
And
Piggyback.
then the Ewok would fall over.
That's like 1 degree away from becoming like a cockfight. Just throwing 2 Ewoks in a circle.
I bet you that's a thing.
That would be an interesting thing.
I don't know.
wonder
Slavery is still around on some planets, so yeah, Ewok cockfighting is probably also still
yeah.
around.
There you go.
I bet that damn Galactic Senate has it outlawed, too.
So it's
Don't
underground.
worry, we'll hear all about it. All about their legislature and all about it. The great Ewok trials of Gwandor 6. Oh, let's have a film then.
Yeah, no, I mean we are writing gold. I think Disney needs to just hire us.
We're already better than Lucas, in my opinion.
What?
We're already better than Lucas, in my opinion.
Oh,
Well, I mean, come on.
that does sound like 4 idiots on a podcast. I'm better than George Lucas.
Now if I only had money.
Their friends who have no proven track record of writing films.
I write everything that Ben says. So
This
every
is
time
actually
you laugh,
true.
I get paid.
Yeah, it's actually unfortunate that I have an Asian write my stuff, but you know.
Hey, I associate myself with the Jewish faith. Does that work?
Oh well, you know what? That actually makes more sense. I mean, if you don't work for me, I'll throw you in an oven.
So, James,
Anyways,
what sidebar
Like-
can we get ourselves into?
So let's switch over to Battlefront. Let's talk about good memories of Battlefront games.
oh my gosh! So, Battlefront. I just remember those good old days. Original Xbox. I was about to say Xbox One, but it's not Xbox One. It's original Xbox. Getting online, bunch of people. It was James. James, you were there. I saw you
Yes.
there. It was
Yes.
David, who nobody
Yep.
in this show knows. It was Kenny. We were all together. We were playing Battlefront.
Yeah.
And, I mean, that just epic freaking battles. It was awesome. And I remember especially the... oh my gosh. The Bespin level where you could get into the A-Wings and fly around.
Oh,
and it was a pretty small map. And just go around and completely annihilate everyone on the ground. It was one of those few games where I really loved using the vehicles.
Yeah. I had a lot of fun with Battlefront 1. Battlefront 2 was good for like some other reasons, but I enjoyed Battlefront 1 more as long as you turned off Jedi.
Yeah, well, no, Battlefront 1 didn't have Jedi.
Yeah, dude. Like you couldn't control them; they would just run around and basically destroy everything in their path.
Oh, are you sure?
Yeah, you couldn't kill them. You had to like, if you wanted to get rid of them, you had to like use explosives to force them like out of bounds off the map,
Oh,
or just wait for the timer to run out.
gotcha. Yeah, I mean, I didn't hate the Jedi thing. I do agree it was kind of it was annoying, but you could
Yeah.
avoid them pretty easily.
You could avoid them, yeah, but it's like, all right, well, this team's going to control this part of the map for a while now.
And the ginger underscore beard brings up the beach map. I think he's talking about Kashyyyk.
I think he's asking if that's Bespin is the beach map.
Oh no,
But he is
Bespin's
thinking of
the
Kashyyyk.
Cloud City map.
Yeah.
But so much fun was had in that game, and there was so many NPC. I mean, so many AI characters, or you could have a bunch of online people playing with you. It was my first introduction, really, into a game that had the ability to have a bunch of people online at a time, 32-player multiplayer.
Yeah. It was good times for sure. Not my favorite Star Wars game, but
No, there are definitely other great Star Wars games out there. You know what my favorite thing about Battlefront 2 was, though? The space battles.
yeah,
I
that was good.
freaking loved the space battles and trying to take out the giant enemy ship, whether it was like a Star Destroyer or something along those lines. It was it was a lot of fun, and it brought something completely a different play style to the game. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I only played all these games at my friends' houses in limited quantities, but I do seem to remember having some fun with some pod racing related games.
I think the most recent Star Wars game I've played is Lego Star Wars.
Dude, Lego Star Wars is a blast.
I hear that game's dope.
It is.
Lego anything is pretty good though.
I have yet to play a Lego game that I really didn't like.
Yeah. And you've played just about all of them, right?
Yeah, I think my least favorite is going to. I would have to say is the Lord of the Rings ones and the Hobbit ones. But I think my main reason for disliking them so much is rather than like being as goofy as the other ones are, they actually use sound bites from the films.
Oh, that's horrible.
Yeah.
The humor is the best part.
Exactly. I mean that is how you're supposed to enjoy that game.
Yeah.
You know.
See, for me, my favorite Star Wars game is going to go all the way back to X-Wing vs. TIE Fighter.
I think
Like
that's
back in the days where if you were playing a dogfighting game, you use a joystick.
Yep.
Mostly because they're not made to be played without one. But it's like just you can't not use a joystick for these games. Ah man, from that game alone, I heard the music so much. Good times.
and it's great music.
Oh yeah. You know, did you guys ever play Yoda Stories?
No. What is Yoda
No.
Stories?
It's a top down like sprite game, where it's kind of like Legend of Zelda top down look sort of thing. And it's like Yoda's missions. You have to go on the map and like find stuff. Like it was a fun little thing.
Was this like where? How did you play this game? Where'd you find
On
it?
computer, they did eventually make it for the Game Boy Color, but like the Game Boy Color version was supposed to be one of the worst Game Boy games ever, which is weird because the computer version was awesome. Like I played it, I think on Windows 95. Like that's how old this game is.
Yeah, I'm looking it up right now.
So
Yeah.
something I do want to talk about. I want to go back to Battlefront a bit. So EA has taken over Battlefront.
Right.
It's in the game.
Yeah.
Sorry.
How do we feel about that?
I don't intrinsically have a problem with the way EA how the quality of their games. I'm just not typically I'm hesitant because of how they manage their microtransactions and DLCs and things like that.
And what's scary is there are a bunch of things I could see them doing with microtransactions in this game. Mm-hmm. Just with the sheer heroes. You know, the Jedi that go out into the battlefield to fight with you.
If you could unlock them eventually, then I could see them doing that. I don't see them releasing more than one, if any, Jedi or hero that you have to pay for.
So that's not even what I'm thinking. What I'm thinking is, in game, you earn tokens that you can use to say, like, oh, this life I want to play as this Jedi, and go out onto the field and wreck shop with that. I could see EA saying, hey, for $2 you can get 10 tokens, for $5 you can get 50 tokens, for, so on and so forth,
What a deal!
Yeah. Well, no, but that's the kind of thing that EA would do, and it's like there are plenty
Absolutely.
of options in there where it could be really scary. Even the Ginger_Beard in the chat says the next one will be good, but then will slowly decline as they try and squeeze every last cent out of the franchise.
Gotta make it annualizable.
So that was my next question. Like, what's probably the best game out there for DLC that introduced it in the first iteration of the series? Like, that had, like, very strong DLC support, but it was the first game in the series.
For Star Wars?
No,
Just
for any game.
Any game. Because I've never paid for, like, DLC content. Mainly because I wasn't making money at any point. But, like, now that I am, and I could ostensibly buy DLC content, I've never done, like, the
this isn't
stuff.
Yeah, like
this
the
isn't
Electric Maestro.
the first one, but I know a lot of people loved the Citadel DLC for Mass Effect 3.
Well, I will say, any of the Mass Effect DLC, even in the first game, the DLC was strong. The DLC was strong with this one.
You know what game I would say did the best with DLC? Borderlands 1.
Borderlands 1, I would absolutely agree with. I mean,
Because the prices on their DLC was never, like, they're never over the top, and it always added a lot of hours to it.
So, but that was
And
like
they did
pure, like,
ridiculous
content,
scenarios. That was what?
That was like, it wasn't like you paid $1 and got a gun. It was like
Right.
you paid, I don't know
Like,
how much.
here's
It was-
another, like,
you got
$15
4 hours of
and
content.
and here's another 6 hours of content.
Okay.
We raised the level cap 10 levels. Oh, and here's another 300 weapons that you can find.
Yeah.
I mean, I agree. Borderlands absolutely did DLC right. I mean, I would even say that the Halo 2. I know it wasn't the first one, but it was kind of the first one when Xbox Live was a thing. Halo 2 had strong DLC. It was $5 for each map pack, and you got like 3 or 4 map packs, or 3 or 4 maps rather. And Electric, I know my video's out of sync. I'm working on trying to fix it, but my audio syncs up where it's supposed to be, so I'm not rushing to fix it right now.
He
Because
lives in the Matrix.
I do live in the Matrix, and I'm
That's
a
why you
red
see that
shirt, so I'm
cat going back
probably
and
going to
forth
die
all the time.
anyways.
Maybe
Yeah,
EA
that's it.
will release Star Wars episodic content.
No, so what I would like to see EA do with Battlefront is make Battlefront itself a platform. Like, I know you guys were talking about annualized releases and stuff like that, but if we made Battlefront a platform, where, let's say, every year we add 8 more maps, we add different game modes, different characters, things like that, I think that would be better, especially when you look at the different features that Battlefront EA has in comparison to Star Wars Battlefront 2.
Yeah.
I'm just looking at the number of maps. Star Wars Battlefront 2, 33 total maps, 16 planets, plus there were the 4 DLC maps.
So
Battlefront
as someone who
EA,
hasn't played
eight total maps and 4 planets.
For how much?
What do you mean for how much?
Total, how much was the DLC?
Oh, I don't know how much the DLC was.
Okay.
I don't have that information up.
So as someone who hasn't played Battlefront at all, what is the nature of a map in that context?
So think Battlefield.
Okay.
You know how big the maps are on
Yep.
Battlefield? It's exactly. I would say it's exactly like Battlefield, but with Star Wars.
Okay. Yeah, I'd agree. That's pretty much what it is. I'm worried they're going to turn it into too much like Battlefield.
How so?
I don't know, like kill streak rewards, things like that.
I wouldn't
Or
hate that.
it's going to become more run and gun. Like I would, because Battlefront has its own good feel and ebb and flow to it. Like if I want to play a Battlefield, I'll go do that. Battlefront is good as like this third person, almost kind of clunky, and therefore like in a comfortable way. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, but Battlefield, it's not like Call of Duty, where you get those kinds of kill streaks. It's the kill streaks in Battlefield they're less game breaking, I would say, than the Call of Duty ones. Real quick question. Let's. I'm going to ask a quick question from our listeners. Electric Mastro. He wants to know what the highest compliment you could ever give a game is, and I'm going to add on to that. And do you think you'll ever give a Star Wars game this compliment?
I mean, the best compliment I can give a game is, this is the best game I've ever played in my life. And no, I don't think I will give that to a Star Wars game, because my favorite games are not at all similar. But besides
Almost
being
as good as Ocarina
fast-
of Time would probably be mine.
It was as good as Ocarina of Time. Okay.
Yes.
Almost.
But it's never.
Almost.
I don't think it's going to happen with a Star Wars game. Hope it does. I like me some Star Wars now and again.
How about you, Sam?
I mean, I think I speak more compliments in like the amount of hours I'm willing to play a game.
I was
And-
going to say the exact same thing. It's like the only
Yeah,
thing that
it's-
I could think of being the highest compliment is how much time I put into the game. And Kenny can attest to this. The Gingerbeard in the chat can attest to this. I shat on Destiny so much about how I didn't think it was going to be this game that I kept playing and going back to, and it's almost a year later, and I can barely put the game down, which
Yeah, well,
I
Ben,
think
we all make mistakes.
I think is a great compliment to the game itself. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do.
And
And to go off of that, I would say not just the time you put into it, but then how much you support the game and its future endeavors after that.
yeah, and I mean, I could see that if EA does it right, see that happening with Battlefront, but I don't think it's going to happen.
So then, how do we feel about no space battles in Battlefront 3?
No space battles in Battlefront 3, or in Battlefront, yeah, is a huge... I think it's a mistake, but at the same time, I look at it, and I'm like, okay, so EA is essentially going into this game and creating a new game. They're not building off of the games that they've already... off of the previous Battlefront games. They don't have that to work with. So, if no space battles means that they are going to... put together a better quality game on ground, then I will be less upset with there being no space battles. And maybe a next Battlefront comes out with space battles, and that's something they focus on in the next one. So I just want to see them master one thing, then try to do everything all at once.
See, here's the thing. Like, I was never huge into the space battles in Battlefront 2. Like, I enjoyed them just fine. But I prefer the land battles with the, you don't have the crazy, like, oh, I died, and I have to wait for a ship to respawn and fly back over there, spend the time, and then try to be stealthy so I don't waste this time. And then, like, it can be a bit of a hassle if I just want to attack the enemy ship. If I want to fly around in space and fight, like, that's a different story. But I feel like with just ground battles, they can do a good bit of dogfighting, combat, and have that be fun in its own right. That's what I hope to see.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the other thing that I'm mildly concerned about is that they have not once said that there are confirmed vehicles in Battlefront.
Well,
have-
I mean, there will be. Like, I can't
feel like
imagine
it's
them not
implied.
making a Hoth battle. How can you not make a Hoth battle, you know?
Yeah. It's just, again, there was so much available
Well-
to you in Battlefront 2.
Well, there's got to be speed. There's got to be land speeders. We've seen it in the previews, in the trailer.
Yeah, but, you know, how often do we see the exact same things in the trailer in the game?
If it's what they're broadcasting for a game that's known to use land speeders,
Didn't they show us in-game content or in-game generated video?
not.
Yeah, in-engine
Not-
video.
In-engine
Yeah.
video. Okay.
I think like they had. I think they had some gameplay stuff like on the floor, but I don't think they streamed any online.
Air Joey says, I think Battlefield takes a ridiculous more amount of teamwork and communication to win a round than Call of Duty does. Do you think that that Battlefront should be more Battlefield or more Call of Duty? Or what kind of things do you want to see in the multiplayer, or in Battlefront as a first-person
wouldn't-
shooter or third-person
I wouldn't
shooter?
relate them at all because what Battlefield has been, and we could change, who knows, has always been the multi King of the Hill sort of structure.
Well,
I
yeah,
prefer
I mean,
it
the
to Call of Duty
conquest kind of
for what that's
structure.
worth. So
Jared,
I
if you-
guess I want
Sam has
more like
fans.
Battlefield.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I think that would make me enjoy it more because I'm not a big fan of Call of Duty's that type of play style for like a PvP kind of content, and I could see that being an interesting mix. Like, let's say you went and did like a space battle where you had to do some in like a first-person shooter mode where you were on a ship to unlock certain things to give the people on the outside an advantage or something like that. That could be interesting. Like I could see that being an interesting like mix of content where you're trying to like work together. But I don't know if that's how they would ever go with that sort of game.
Well, I mean, and I agree. I like the more team-based games for sure.
Yeah.
Jeremy Fox on there says all he wants in Battlefront 3 is a galactic conquest mode. Jeremy, I'm so sorry, but they've already said that there's not going to be a galactic conquest. How do you guys feel about that? I mean, there's pretty much, essentially, they're pulling out any kind of campaign-like structure in Battlefront.
Until E3 2025 or DLC pack, $5 a minute here in this new game mode.
Oh, Jesus Christ. That would make me cry. I would cry
If
tears.
a single player, I think, if a single player campaign became DLC, that'd be fun.
Yeah. So fun. Said no one ever, by the way. Do we want to change gears and talk about Force Awakens?
Yeah, because the only other thing I would want to talk about Battlefront is like, how do you think they're going to implement Episode 7 stuff into it? Which hard to say without movie being out yet. So
Yeah.
When is the game slated to be released?
December.
November 2015.
Oh yeah, before the movie's December, the game comes out a little bit before that.
Yeah. I think it's end of November that Battlefront EA is coming out. And I don't know, Jeremy Fox, but I will tell you who you have to murder as soon as I know.
It's Ben.
Yeah.
Murder Ben.
It's me. First off, let's talk about the elephant in the room, and by elephant I mean old wrinkly thing at the end of the trailer. Harrison Ford.
Okay.
How do we feel about all of these people returning for the movie?
Love
I
it.
like it.
Awesome. Because they're not going to be the main focus of the film.
They better not be the main focus of the film.
They're not
They're
going
not.
to be.
They've already said they're not.
I know. It's just I know they say that, but people say a lot of things, James. I once believed that House of Wolves was going to have a new raid. Okay?
Well, that's what you get for believing in them trying to make this to a good game.
Anyway, Before I make some very rude comments.
But the trailer was very, very heavy on the old players. Granted, the only one that you actually see is Chewie and Han. You hear Luke. You hear Luke.
You see Luke. He puts his hand on R2.
Okay, then in that case, you also see Leia, who hands someone a lightsaber.
Actually, that's not Leia.
Well, James, go to hell. My God. You don't see anyone's
running this
faces
podcast now?
except for Han Solo and Chewbacca.
Okay.
I guess if you want to count R2-D2, then we'll count R2-D2.
Poor C-3PO.
I know.
Not in it whatsoever.
So, So, James, you like that they're going to be in it. Sam, how do you feel?
I mean, I like the fact that they're going to be in it. I mean, I would think of it this way: like, is it going to be like us having Spock in the Star Trek reboot? Because like that was reasonable. It wasn't too much. It wasn't too little. Felt more or less just right. If the same mentality is taken with like a bigger cast of characters, maybe it'll work.
Yeah.
Here's what I wonder, and they may have, further clarified this, but there's something I just heard way back when they first revealed, we're making episode 7. They said, well, I can't imagine Star Wars without Darth Vader. Darth Vader is going to be in it. And that could mean a number of things. That could mean just the mask. That could mean that he's actually not dead. That means he could be around as Jedi Ghost, something like that. If he does come back in some way, shape, or form, is that okay with you? And if so, what would you prefer to see? Or do you be like, no, he's dead. He should be completely dead. I don't want to see Darth Vader. That era has passed.
So, I would be okay briefly seeing Ghost Darth Vader. But only if it's David Prowse and not Hayden Christensen. And I will say the main reason I say I would be okay seeing Ghost is because he's dead. We saw the ghost of Anakin Skywalker at the end of what's that third movie? Return of the Jedi. Okay.
So we're talking about Ghost Vader or Ghost Anakin?
Well, I mean, they're the same person.
No. But how long is this?
I think
happening
Darth
after?
Vader died. Isn't that supposed to be the whole thing? Now Anakin.
Yeah,
had that whole
but his
arc.
body was burned, and we still have his mask.
Yeah. So how long is this set in the universe after Return of the Jedi?
I think it's about 30 years.
Yeah, it's supposed to be 30 years.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, if it was before then, and of course I haven't done that research, but I could see it as, someone come. Okay.
I'm just... Go ahead. Continue going.
I could see it as someone, trying to reutilize that look or that appearance to, rally some sort of uprising or some whatever. I think the thought and the concept of Vader could be used and be okay, knowing that it's not him.
Yeah. Okay. I could see that happening. Somewhat like a copycat kind of Sith. This brings me into a question that I want to ask. Old Republic style, do you think the Sith are actually going to be a villain per se, or just a messier side of the Force? Because
Is it confirmed that he's a Sith?
Who? What?
The villain in this movie, the guy with the red lightsaber in the trailer?
No, I don't think so.
So I don't think the Sith are going to be there at all.
You don't think the Sith is going to be there at all?
I think it's going to be just I think it's just going to be the remnants of the Empire and a new kind of villain.
But it's called The Force Awakens. You don't think that this means that a bunch of people across the galaxy are finding that they have the Force within them? And the Force has
That's a good question.
light side and dark side. So...
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
I
we
don't
have
know.
to see. Maybe it's the antagonist is trying to awaken the Force within people and then draw them to their side. There could be that. I don't know if it's the Sith. Maybe you think it's the Sith, and then it turns out to be just like Jar Jar Binks in disguise, and then it retcons the original trilogy, and there's all sorts of other like hidden clues that you didn't really realize. You like play the audio backwards, and it says like, "I'll be back in episode 7. It'll make sense."
The Ginger Beard actually asks a really good question. What about Luke taking the place of his father? So, a new Darth Vader, so to speak, as a new Skywalker.
Well, I mean,
Oh man, that would be
I think
interesting after all this
I
time.
think with
if he-
with anything, you have to be able to set it up, right? And if you're covering 30 years of history as like a setup for a movie, unless the entire movie's a setup for what happens with that, I can't see that being like viable, right? Like all of a sudden he was this good hero, now he's a bad hero. That happened like that in movie time.
Yeah. I mean, Jeremy Fox puts it a good way, though. Well, Sith is equivalent to Jedi, except you're a douche. I mean, I think that's why I'm thinking that there is a positive place for the Sith in the movie.
I mean, I'm open to it.
I mean, that could be an interesting way to do the plot line, where like there's like a common enemy, but just not an agreement on how to approach it.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see how it works. Are you guys going to see it day one? I guess that's the real question.
Nope.
Well, Brent,
If it matches up with my schedule, maybe. But I mean, I'm not dying to see it immediately.
I mean, I think I thought of it this way. It should, like, how obnoxious do you think people are going to be at the movie?
That is why I waited to see Avengers 2 at like a more obscure time zone or time spot.
I have a
Obscure
movie
time
theater
zone.
that plays like
Somewhere,
every movie.
somewhere in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. One of those more obscure ones.
No, our movie theater near us on Thursday nights at like 8 o'clock, they play movies that are coming out on Friday. So I usually go see it then, and I haven't had any. I saw
What?
Age of Ultron then, and it was.
I mean, I
it
just
was fun.
remembered there's been some movies I've seen opening night, first showing, where like you miss dialogue because people are cheering, which, not to say dialogue is going to be that great in those scenes anyway, but like that's more the stuff where I'm like,
So what you're saying
Yeah.
is Star
Yeah.
Wars Episode 7 should probably have like a built-in applause and laugh track, right?
sure, that's exactly
No.
what I'm saying.
That's not what you're
Okay.
saying.
No, it's not.
I'll make sure that gets to Disney HQ.
We'll,
No.
we'll
They'll
be
put
like
in those long blank
Go check
pauses so that they can put the laugh track and applause in there.
Fuck it! Don't even make it a talkie. Make it a silent film with a full orchestra.
You know what? Just make it Lego.
Yeah,
Lego
there we go.
silent film.
Now problem solved, and I don't
And
have
then
to
it
see
just-
Hayden
yeah, it just
Christensen's
cuts away.
face.
Yeah, like a Family Guy bit. You should just have Lego stuff interspersed throughout it. It's like Luke's like, you think that's bad? Remember when I got captured and like Hoth? Then it's just a cutaway, and then you do a Lego version of the original trilogy. In gold, we're printing gold.
Okay.
That's an interesting question.
Yeah, this is a great question, and I have the perfect answer for it.
I think
Jer-
that's just my perfect answer for it.
Jeremy Fox asks, here's a question. I know what happened. I like the universe. I've never seen the movie. Do I watch it by release or chronologically? My answer for you, Jeremy Fox, is there is an order. It's called Machete Order. And it is the best possible way to watch the movies, especially if you marathon it. And what Machete Order does, even though you know what happens and everything, it lines everything up a lot better, I think. In that it's episode 4 and 5, so A New Hope, Empire Strikes Back. At the end of Empire Strikes Back, you get the big reveal, Luke, I am your father. And then we go straight into the backstory of Darth Vader, which I usually skip episode 1 and just do episodes 2 and 3, because episode 1 is horrible and no one should really ever subject themselves to that. Especially you, Jeremy Fox. You have never seen it. You've never seen it, and it makes me very happy. So you watch A New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, and then you go right into Attack of the Clones, Revenge of the Sith. Now you have all this backstory on Darth Vader, and you get to go see Return of the Jedi, which you have the backstory of Vader, you have the backstory of Luke, and now you have a lot of stuff to go off of for the story.
So, 4, 5, 2, 3, 6.
4, 5, 2, 3, 6. Indeed. That is the point. H. Towney. I like to talk. James, were you gonna say similar? Or
Yep.
Exact same.
Exact same thing.
So do you incorporate episode 1, or do you skip it also? You also skip it.
If somebody has never
4,
seen
5,
it,
2,
I
3,
would
6.
tell
Wait
the
a month.
thing.
Watch 1.
Yeah, I'd say
Don't
like that, you know?
don't watch one.
Like,
Don't even
Watch
go
it.
watch 1. Go get the riff tracks to 1
There you go.
and watch it with the riff tracks.
There you go. Only way
Um,
to enjoy the movie.
Sam, how about you? Do you have an ideal order to watch it?
Nope. Nope.
No?
I mean, I think it's just I'm so torn because there's so much content in general where you've got older content that's less production value, newer content that's higher production value. Like it just skews too much in different directions. So
I agree. We're all getting very distracted by what's going on in the chat, and I apologize to everyone that's listening to this on iTunes. And H. Towney, I'm married, by the way, so imagine how torturous it is for my wife. Brent, how about you? How about you, Brent?
I watched so Star Wars wasn't a big part of my life. It still isn't a huge part of my life. So it wasn't like I had a lot of it in my childhood. I watched the original trilogy once every couple of years, and just I was scarred by watching the prequels once, and I never have to watch them again.
So you
That's
completely
my
skip
way to
prequels.
watch Star Wars. You have to watch the prequels at least once. You will not forget them, for better or for worse, and then just watch the original trilogy, which are quite good.
Okay.
So in episode 7, we obviously have the two new main characters. The guy in the stormtrooper outfit and this chick who's a lot of people believe is probably the daughter of. But what do you guys think? Who do you think Luke is talking to in his narration?
So I don't think he's talking to his to any child of theirs. I mean so maybe the girl I could possibly see as being offspring of a Skywalker, but I think one of the main people they're talking to is Black Stormtrooper, or as I like to call him, Black Storm.
that's his
Storm
porn
is
name.
black.
Yeah,
Wasn't that X-Men?
I don't know. But no, I think it's like I mentioned before. I think this is going to be all of a sudden, all of these people across the universe are finding that they have that they are one with the Force.
But how does that make sense canon?
What do you mean? How does that make sense? Ken?
I mean, it doesn't.
The Jedi get
doesn't at all.
wiped out pretty much at the end of episode 3.
I know, but it's not. It's not that they get wiped out because they're still there. It's that the Force
Maybe-
becomes insanely unbalanced.
Maybe in the span of 30 years, Luke goes on a journey to discover himself and makes a lot of poor nighttime choices.
I mean, yeah, I could see that being a possibility.
I mean,
Yes.
and maybe honestly, that is the story, right? Is that like it's been 30 years? The only people who have the Force are offspring of that family, and maybe some fringe elements, and then all of a sudden something happens. I don't know what. Time paradox.
Yeah,
Maybe
time
the
paradox
Force
makes
becomes
sense.
an actual character, and the Force awakens, and then it's like, oh yeah, hey, I'm the Force. The Force is voiced by Liam Neeson,
Who else would the Force be voiced by?
and we just have to deal with it
That'd be
for
great.
a trilogy.
That'd be great.
That would be great in the credits. The Force voice.
That's probably the worst thing about episode 1, is that Liam Neeson could never be in another Star Wars movie.
It's true.
Except as the Force.
Yeah, I mean that is kind of sad that he can't be. What about Benedict Cumberbatch as voice of the Force?
No.
No, I thought he was awesome as Smaug.
Yeah.
Take it a different way. The resurrected corpse of J.R.R. Tolkien as the Force. Little crossover appeal.
All right.
Huh?
We've gotten so far off track.
We have gotten so far off track, and what I want to do is I want to move to our Star Wars quiz.
Oh, great.
We have props, don't we?
I need my. I need.
We're not supposed to have props?
No.
Go get your
I just-
lightsaber, Sam.
I just
I'll
have
go
the quiz here. Oh, look at
We have
that.
to write propositions.
I'm going to green screen my face.
So, guys, I'm thinking of a number. Actually, you know what? Chat
4.
vote. Chat
4.
vote. Who should get the first question and the first the first chance to get news quiz points?
This isn't
Go.
like lightning round?
This is going to be a lightning round. I'm going to kind of vamp for a second. I've got a few questions, mostly based off of the original trilogy. And then, Sam, since you've never done a news quiz with us, there are 3, 4 questions, and then there's a bonus question at the end for bonus points. The bonus question...
Just have Sam go first, since he's new. He gets the privilege.
He gets the privilege of
Yay.
going first?
That's fine.
Since
Whatever.
chat seems to decline one helping out.
Well, I mean, there's a slight lag between our live and their live, so it makes sense that there's a slight lag. But okay.
Yeah, Kenny.
Their lives are slower compared to ours.
Sam, I will let you go first. Sam, which of the 3 movies did not play the Imperial March? For those of you who don't know, the Imperial March is the one that goes dun 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 dun. You know the rest.
So, the second movie.
The second movie, you think it's Empire Strikes Back?
Yes.
You are incorrect. It is A New
Okay.
Hope.
Really?
It is A New Hope. The first movie did not once play the Imperial March.
Not even when they introduced the Death Star?
Not even.
Not even during the first introduction.
Not even during the first introduction.
First introduction.
And it comes full circle.
The Death Star does have a second introduction.
This is true.
It does.
It does.
So we need to kill Jar Jar and remake him.
And I'm sorry, Jeremy Fox. As much as I would like to go first in the news quiz, I write the news quiz, so
Let's keep going.
it'd kind of be cheating. Let's go to Brant.
I'm gonna get this wrong, so let's go.
I'm gonna give you an easy question, Brant.
No, see that you don't say that because if I get it wrong, then it makes me feel worse. I went to school.
Should-
Return of the Jedi was originally supposed to be titled what? Was it A,
So
Revenge
Oh,
of the
multiple
Jedi, B, The Jedi Strikes Back, or C, The New Republic?
A.
A, Revenge of the Jedi is correct. There are still posters out there that you can buy, very rare, that you can get that say Revenge of the Jedi.
I'm gonna paint them in a different light.
Yeah. I mean, some Jedis need vengeance. James?
yo,
George Lucas has said that he based Han Solo on a close friend of his. Said close friend is a famous director. So is Han Solo based off of A, Steven Spielberg, B, Spike Lee, C, Francis Ford Coppola, or D, Stanley Kubrick?
I think it was Spike Lee, wasn't it?
You think it was Spike Lee. Is that your final answer, James? I don't like when you say I think.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with that.
All right. Sorry, James. The correct answer was Francis Ford Coppola.
I don't like it when you think, James.
I know you get intimidated, Brant.
James doesn't like it either.
As
let's
long
be
as
honest.
as long as James knows. Brant, since. Oh wait. So
I mean, it would go back to Sam, right?
If we had a lot of questions, yes, but
so
That
Brant
was
got
it.
his
Brant
question
wins.
right. Brant got his question right. James, I'm going to give you a chance to redeem yourself.
who?
Who is in the Darth Vader suit? Is it A, James Earl Jones, B, David Prowse, C, Hayden Christensen, or D, Alec Guinness?
Oh, shit.
dun, dun,
I
dun.
think this was referenced earlier in this episode, by the way.
It really was. I actually
Yeah.
said the name.
So then David Prowse. Yeah.
David Prowse is the correct answer. Sam, bonus points to you. Alec Guinness plays who in the original Star Wars
right.
movies?
That's what Alec Guinness is.
What?
Obi-Wan.
Correct. Very good. Okay, everyone's tied up with the points.
Yay.
We are going to go into our super bonus lightning round. Everyone, what are
Brett,
the
you don't
odds?
have a chance to get ahead.
What are the odds of successfully navigating an asteroid field? Here's the thing. Closest to the answer from the movie wins. Sam, go.
Is this Price is Right rules?
Price is Right rules. If you
235
go
to what?
over. What was that?
I have no
Sam?
idea. 235?
235 to 1. Brant.
Now I'm gonna Google it.
I think 1,200 to 1.
1,200 to 1. James.
Oh man, it's so much more than that. I don't remember the exact number. So if we're doing Price is Right rules, I'm going to say 1,300 to 1.
Okay. James, congratulations. You got closest. The odds of successfully navigating an asteroid field are 3,720 to 1. Do you know that R2 then says the chances of survival are actually 725 to 1?
Oh, I
I
win!
did not know that.
Guys, that's been the show. It's been another ridiculous night. As you can hear, it's definitely time in the background for me to end the show.
Thank God, it's over.
Remember, you can find us all on Twitter. I am on Twitter at Ben Riddick. You can find James at Ser_Capelli. That's SER_CAPELLI. You can find Brant in the top right over there at BRanj, BRANJ. And you can find Sam on Twitter at DJ Fluffkins. Yes, that's right. Sam is a DJ, and his stage name is Fluffkins. You can follow the podcast on Twitter at RidiculousRT. Remember, this stream is live every Sunday, Thursday, Friday. Or Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, I should say. Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. So be sure to watch that. This show is every Sunday at 7 p.m. Pacific Time. Thank you guys for joining us. It's been another ridiculous night. And remember, you can't spell ridiculous without